Hey everybody, and welcome to Adam, the Paraprince YouTube channel. I really wanted to talk about something that, well, if anybody who is familiar with my videos and what I talk about, discuss, you already know that I'm in my chair, of course, and I am awake literally 16, 17 hours of the day. And that is a lot of time to, just sit and think. And because of the fact that I don't have, like a list of friends in my phone or my contact list that I can call and speak to. I don't even have somebody that I can just hear their voice besides my dad, who, like I have explained before in my videos, is my caregiver and has been by my side since my accident. But a really interesting conclusion that I kind of came to just the other day is something that, it makes perfect and total and complete sense to me, but whenever I say it out loud or try to like type it and explain it, it probably reads or sounds really just out of this world, or just something that is, just impossible. But I really don't think that it is. The conclusion I came to is I honestly feel like I died when my accident happened back in 2009. Just because of the fact that within 2 years of my accident, everybody that I had considered, a friend, best friend, or people that I had been friends with from the age 12 all the way up until, I was 25, were just gone. Once I lost the ability to walk and just honestly, ever since I lost the ability to just be a man, and just honestly, I know it's gonna sound odd and awkward, but this is the reality of it. Ever since I lost the ability to just be able to in the moment have sex with somebody like out of the blue, that has drastically just changed everything in my life, because I'm not just a normal person. Yeah, everybody gets the urges just out of the blue if they happen to see something on TV, if they happen to see a picture of somebody that they used to date. They, yeah, back in the day, you could think about stuff and you would get that feeling, and it just take 5-10 minutes, and you could relieve that feeling and go on about your day. But I not only lost the feeling of having sex and an orgasm, but I lost the feeling of being able to stand up and look at somebody in the eyes, or I can't walk side by side with a girl anymore, hold her hand, tell her how beautiful she is, tell her how much I care about her, how much I love her. Even if I wanted to be, like a jerk and, tell multiple females at the same time, how much I care about them and how I want to build a life with them. Like that kind of life, all of that stuff was possible for me 12 years ago. If I wanted to be, like just a dirt bag, that was possible. I could go out, I could meet females, and I could sleep with them that night. Now, I can't even go and even have a conversation because of how bad everybody avoids me. They almost look at me like I am a virus all of my own, and it is just something that I have gotten used to. And I see a lot of videos on social media or different platforms on TV, just, it's just life. And a lot of them, like some of them, like quite a bit of them are females that are paraplegics. And just because they are a female and, are pleasant to look at or a lot better to look at than just looking at me, like just speaking to my phone about what I go through, I have noticed that on their videos of, when I have videos that are very, very similar, like transferring from like my chair to the floor and then back in, like the females have, hundreds, thousands of views. They have, tens of thousands of subscribers. And I'm just like, wow, it's just because of what is in between my legs that has no life to it anymore. That is what I am basically judged off of. And people can call me crazy if you want to. I mean, like, I've been called a lot worse. But honestly, ever since I lost the ability to just walk around and be able to have sex on the spot, I am no longer considered, worth the time. And I'm not looking for anybody's sympathy, anybody's pity, anybody's feelings, or nothing. I'm just here trying to explain that I honestly feel that my life ended back in 2009. And within 2 years, everybody that was part of my life for 12, 13, 14, 15 years were gone. And I stopped keeping up with the music. I stopped keeping up with movies. I stopped keeping up with restaurants that were opening. I stopped just keeping up with everything. And then social media took over, and that's how people wanted to communicate. And now it's just like I'm reminded every day of memories from 5-10 years ago. And one thing that I talked about in my last video about a girl who I have not spoken to or seen since, my accident happened, when she came over to my house and just, spent the weekend with me. And she was so comfortable with me that, even though she was in a relationship, she was falling asleep with her head on my chest while my fingers, were running through her hair. And she knows that I love her, and I mean, she knows what my heart feels. And what's funny is when I got that memory thing that popped up on Facebook, I had posted on there and I commented, like, it would really be nice to speak to you. I can't believe that it has been 11 years, since the last time we spoke. And I wasn't expecting, a comment or response or anything. But later that day, she commented saying, oh, hopefully once this pandemic is finally over, I will be able to spend time with you again, and I miss, seeing you and our friendship as well, and I miss it so much. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, really, that's what you're going to use as an excuse, and even say once the pandemic is over, we can spend time together? Whatever happened to picking up the phone and you don't even have to dial the 10 digits anymore. You can just touch my name and then call. And we could just speak for 5 minutes. And I understand if you have a job, I understand that, you're an artist and you are drawing 24/7. I understand that. But why would you say once the pandemic is over, you might, I would be willing to spend time with you then, when I would give anything just to hear you on the phone for just 3 minutes. I mean, if you could just call and just say, hey, and, something's come up, even if it hasn't, just get off the phone, that would still be good enough for me. I just don't understand what happened to me to make me not be good enough. I mean, I understand everybody's going to comment saying, oh, there's somebody out there for everybody, continue waiting. And it's just almost 12 years has gone by since my accident. Yes, my appearance, my age, and everything, it has increased, by 12. Especially my age, so I'm not 23 anymore, 35, and I'm going to be 36 this year. And even though I'm 36, it's like my life seriously just ended when my accident did. Because instead of having people who are actually interested in knowing more about me or actually communicating with me, they will go out of their way just to avoid speaking to me, or just avoid me trying to come up to them and speaking to them. And every girl that I have tried speaking to or introducing myself to, everyone has always gave me the same excuse. And like, I will not approach somebody, and I will definitely not flirt with somebody if they have a ring on their hand. That's an automatic no. And then even if they don't, if I do take the chance and just say, would you happen to be on Facebook? Or, I really think you have like an awesome personality. You have always been so nice to me every time I've came in, or every time, I've talked to you on the phone when I've called or something. And I know because they work there, like, it's their job to be nice to the customer, but that's all it ever is. It's just like they're just, it's just artificially being nice to me. And then just, if somebody just, says my name, then that automatically draws my attention, because I don't get that anymore. And it's like I said, I have really came to the conclusion that my life really did end in 2009, because I have only been hurt when it comes to females and trying to have a relationship ever since. The only female I've been involved with, like, it was just confirmed this morning that all the thoughts that I had in the back of my head, like, everything was right. Like, it was all a game and stuff. And the person who was actually the closest thing and the realest thing to a best friend that I ever had, I was actually told this morning, like, yeah, you know, like I did sleep with her, and um, it's because, you know, she was just, you know, a blonde, and she was just a slut. And I could see what she was doing to you at the time, and it disgusted me. I could not believe she was doing that to you. And what she admitted to me, like from the very beginning, as soon as she had, you know, spoke to you right after your accident and everything, and he actually admitted that to me, that yeah, they slept together quite a few times. And it was during a time in my life when my mom had just passed away. She did not show up to the funeral, and I had so many things going on in my life. And it was just a little over 2 years after my accident. But I'm sorry about bringing that up, but it's just the fact that, you know, I'm finally able to put all of that at rest now, knowing that I was right. And even though it hurts, I'm not mad at the person who, you know, friends with still, and have trying to been building our friendship back up. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, hold anything against anybody. But it's like I said, though, I just quit really trying to keep up with, you know, music, movies, restaurants, places to go, even the clothes that I wear. I mean, if you looked at me right now, all of you people who are watching this video, or if you do happen to watch it this far, just the clothes that I'm wearing, I mean, do I even look like a 35-year-old man who, I mean, it's just like I said, I have so much time to just sit in this chair and just constantly think. So yeah, there are going to be a lot of bizarre things that go through my mind. But this was something that just, when it came to my mind and I really started thinking about it, the more it just makes sense to me. Like, I actually did die during my accident, and what I have been experiencing since has to be hell. It has to, because no matter how hard I try, it always blows up in my face, and I don't trust anybody anymore. That's something that was taken from me, is trust issues. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I believe everybody until I know for a fact they're lying to me. I try to hold on to just that tiny little bit of faith that maybe this is, you know, a real, genuine person who wants to get to know me for me, but no, it's not. It's just somebody who is, you know, trying to feed off of my loneliness, and I'm not, you know, I'm honest, I'm not vulnerable in that kind of a situation. I will not be taken advantage of. And yeah, it's just something that I have learned the hard way, the very hard way, in the past almost 12 years now. And it's just, I really don't understand why I had to, you know, like, make it through my accident. Like, I shouldn't have. The more I think about it, I should not have made it. I mean, like, with almost a 300-pound four-wheeler landing on top of me after impact, like the initial impact was on my head, landing like this with my head just crunching down, and then the entire four-wheeler just crushing my body from sitting on it and just crushing my head down, severing my spine, shattering my spine, 4 crushed ribs, a collapsed left lung, my head just gushing blood out of the back, automatically paralyzing me, and I was still able to yell help 2 times, and on the 3rd attempt, all I could get out was a HE before my lung completely filled up with blood, and somebody heard me. I mean, what are the chances of that? Like that, it shouldn't have happened. I'm sorry that I've gotten in this deep when it came to this conversation. I just wanted to speak about what I had been thinking about and how it makes complete sense to me, but it probably sounds very strange to a lot of people. But with that being said, I will conclude my video here. There is one thing I wanted to say is I was planning on relocating somewhere else, not too far away from where I am now, just because of the prices when it comes to like property taxes, just things like that. I'm at the age to where I just want to try to enjoy what's left of what little bit of life I do have. I'm not going to worry about what's going to happen in 4 or 5 months. I am going to be going to North Carolina this year to see my sisters, see my nieces and nephews, spend time with them. I am going to travel and visit my aunt and uncle in Taiwan as soon as probably the snow clears up, and as soon as I can get to North Carolina and get back home. I'm going to be traveling. I'm not going to concern myself with what could happen next week or what could happen next month. Because why concern yourself with things? Especially when you're in my position, I have nothing to lose. If I was gone tomorrow, you know, there's not gonna be, you know, in a couple, like next week, I would be forgotten. That is how simple and easy this existence that I'm in right now is. That's how easy, like, it is to be forgotten. It would just take, you know, a bit of time. And that's okay with me. I mean, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. But it just really sucks, the hand that I was dealt. Because, you know, there are so many other people out there who are in wheelchairs and still do have like somewhat of a decent life where, you know, they do meet people or they do have friends who introduce them to their other friends, and that does not even happen for me. I could beg the couple of people that I do speak to, like occasionally on Facebook, just, you know, through comments and stuff, like I could beg them to introduce me to, you know, one of their friends, and it's always, oh, well, I don't have any friends. I'm sorry, I don't know anybody. So it's always just a dead end for me, and all I can do is just put a fake smile on and just try to keep smiling through the internal, like, damage and pain, but it's all good because it's just a very, very, very small part of, I don't know. I'm getting too far into it now. But, so I think I'm just going to stay in the home that I'm at right now. And like I said, I'm just going to try to enjoy the rest of the time that I do have. And I'm not really going to really worry about what kind of consequences there could be weeks in the future when I need to live day life for the day. And even though it's super lonely, and it'll be fine. I have my father, I have my dad, he's my best friend, and yeah, as long as I have him, I'm happy enough. So all of you people have a wonderful day, and I'm sorry this video, like I said, kind of took a turn and kind of got a little deep and dark, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and like I always say, if you do not hear it from anybody else, you heard it from me. I love each and every one of you just the way you are. You are all beautiful, and do not let anybody ever tell you any different. So until next time, this is Adam the Parrot Prince, and I will talk to all of you folks later. Bye bye.